Rapport from Ann Thuniel at Fridays the 26th of September 2025. We Vietnamese have a saying, without a wife, the market is still crowded. It all started on Tuesday, September 23rd. I was on duty at 3:30 at night. When I checked the food storage bin number SK 4675, with about NNMS poultry beef food. From 58 portions of food was increased to 66 portions of food. I noticed that one of the two food storage bins had the number of NNMS poultry A instead of NNMS poultry B as the goods were packed. And at the bottom of the food storage bin there were both NNMS poultry B and A. At the same time I checked the food storage bin number SK 7181. They did not pack bread, but on the food storage bin there were 5 bags of bread. I informed Tawal and he told me to send these pictures to him. At the same time I could also send them to the WhatsApp group. After I sent those pictures to this group, Asad Muhammad started to have an inappropriate attitude. Because the food storage box with the number SK 7181 was given by him to add bread, which was not in the order. Asad Muhammad uploaded a picture of how to place the food storage boxes named a clip on the left of the space divider door, between the two rooms. At the same time, he sent pictures on the food storage boxes with temperature cards. With text that did not have the nature of a message. Those were words that told people to do as he wanted, otherwise it would be considered disrespectful. I placed the temperature cards on the food storage bins 15 minutes before my shift ended on Monday, September 22nd at 1400. Since it was the last free time, I could only distribute the temperature cards on the food storage bins before I left. Since that was the next job for those on duty at 1430. Friday, September 26th, my shift was from 1400 to 2230. When I arrived, I was informed that LS was no longer available, to be distributed to some flights after 1900 and the production department was in progress. When LS was available, I would put it in the food storage bins. Asad Muhammad arrived at work at 1730. At that time, I was very tired with the heavy OVNs that had been carried down and stacked next to the food storage boxes, for 11 chat flights. At the same time, the food storage boxes were filled neatly in order according to the flight time. Before Asad Muhammad arrived at work at 1730. When Asad Muhammad arrived at work at 1730, he shouted and said loudly to me, "You worked last night on the 25th, there were food storage boxes for flights after 1800 that were not delivered because of lack of LS. You have to be responsible for this issue, because it was your shift last night, the night of the 25th. This is a priority issue, not the work you are doing now." I calmly replied to Asad Muhammad, "If so, then what are you here for? I worked the night shift yesterday, the 25th, with flights from 5 o'clock to 1400 for September 26th. The flights from 1500 on the 26th were taken care of by those who were on duty at 6 a.m. today, the 26th. Asad Muhammad continued to roar. "Do you know that I have been working here for more than 3 years? There is nothing that I do not know. Only you do not know anything. You came here to learn. If I am friendly, I will try to guide you, but you do not act like you are directing me. I am a long-time worker here, so you must open your eyes and watch me work, and listen to me. I have received pictures from Oyvind that you have done a little wrong. So I warn you when you and I are in the office." I remained calm and said softly to Asad Muhammad, "Why did Oyvind send those pictures to you, without Oyvind saying anything to me, and without sending them to me?" I continued in a calm voice, "Asad, you are not the superior in this group. Therefore, when you change the position of UPPLIPP and buffer, you should consult the whole group, including me. You cannot decide on internal matters without our consent." At that time, Asad Muhammad became angry, and he continued to roar, "I have told Oyvind about this, so you have to listen, because you are just an apprentice. Here are the certificates of the containers, which you have to do right now." Asad Muhammad took the papers and waved them right in front of my face. And said, as if shouting at me, Here are the proofs that you did not finish last night 25. Leave those things and go do this for me." I had a sharp pain in my stomach on the left side, under my ribs. I tried to speak calmly. I told Christian before he left that I was not feeling well, so I had to leave early, but I would finish the work you assigned me, and then I would leave. I went to the Dikepatch office to inform him of what had happened, that I would leave early because my health was not good. When I went out the door I ran into a team leader in Dishpatch, and I told him the same. He said, "Go home, he will write a report to the superiors." Today I called Oyvind and asked him to send these photos to me, instead of sending them to someone else without my consent. It was important to talk to me directly. At the same time, I made a suggestion. All UPPLIPP carts should be placed at the corner exit, which is much more convenient for the drivers, because they do not wear white uniforms, white hats and indoor shoes. The carts and buffet racks can be placed on the right side of the transition between the two rooms and right in front of the SK902 location area. Oyvind agreed and he will convey it to the rest of the team. Since I started working there, I am very happy and grateful to Tywall and Oyvind for training me. When I work alone, I will save a lot of other unnecessary time to finish the work before the deadline. Because I am not allowed to work more than 33.5 hours per week. When I arrange all the trolleys, I will arrange them by time zone, for example, June 8, 09 to October 11, 12, but not by the departure time of flights in the same time zone. Of course, it must match the booking document and from the application. Thanks to that, I save a lot of unnecessary time to complete other tasks. When the driver comes to pick up the trolley, they will look for the flight number in the same time zone. My technical classification skills will be very helpful in the short working time. But others will classify by ABC, according to the departure flight, not by time zone like me. During the training sessions, I realized that each individual has their own teaching style and working method. I used to be confused because I had to register information, but now I also work on my own method. The most important thing is to complete the task in the shortest time with the quality improving every day, compared to those who have worked there for more than 3 years while I have only 3 months. Thomas told me about the on-site training on flights 902 and 927. Initially there were very few people, so Tywall could not take me to the flight. I asked Trim and Assad. Trim said he didn't have time, but Assad said, "You have to work here for at least 3 to 6 months to master counting food for flights 902 and 923 before you are allowed to accompany me to the plane to load the luggage." Only Oyvind said, "I will teach you when I come back from vacation." He watched me load all the trolleys onto the plane, just once. Also, I am much better at sharing my ideas and suggestions with everyone, including my boss, Thomas, and my team members. Best regards, Ann Thuniel.